Today I'm gonna do something a little different. See this? This is the result of patience built up from meditation and daily accountability through my actions. I will speak to you about the meaning behind some of my most profound artworks. To begin with, we have Hell on Earth. I'll move a bit to the side so I can put this here on my screen. So, this drawing represents the most evil entities that live on Earth, that reside within our physical realm. I call this Hell on Earth because hell is a state of mind that people reach, that people begin to live by, when they dull their soul so much that they cannot see the light of creation bestowing upon them every single day they wake up. So, we resort to violence, addiction, heartache, and suffering. The devil in my drawing is represented by the goat-headed man, who's making some religious symbolism. Anyway, the whole point is to showcase to us humans that there are many souls on Earth stuck in a state of mind of hell. They are stuck in their own suffering and will forever be enslaved by the hand of Satan, the god of this physical realm, who wants to rule us through lying to us, deceiving us, disguising as other people, to try to convince us to do things that are misaligned with our true godly nature. The whole point of my drawings anyway is to have fun, to fill it with as much detail as possible to make it look crazy. This takes a lot of patience, and this one took me around a month and a half if I remember correctly. The devil has his own right-hand man, who is willing to sacrifice his soul in order to serve this physical realm. And we all know agents of evil exist in the world, selling their soul for the benefit of their own gain and at the cost of the suffering of others. You can think of them as the power-hungry politicians who kill others in wars. You can think of them as the porn industry, as the junk food industry, as the tobacco industry. Anything that will misalign you from your true, liberated, free-spirited nature is an agent of the devil. You can see the exit sign is pointed back into hell because that is the maze of those who are stuck in suffering. They cannot see the exit. They always point back to suffering. Anyways, we will move on to the second artwork. On the other hand, we have the drawing I named Bridge of Unity. In here, we can see two worlds separated by the knowledge of the light of nature, which is shining up into the moon and shining back into our physical world. This is the light of creation awakening our minds throughout the world. On the left side, we have a world resembling the western side of the world, the identification of the self with the ego. The western side on the left represents the Western world, who is ready to greedily take anything the nature gives in order to build and fortify modern society. We can see it in the manifestation of pollution in the world, power-hungry and greedy corporate industries ready to destroy nature at a whim for their own benefit, completely disregarding whole civilizations and the history of humanity. On the right side of the drawing, we can see a huge Buddha statue sitting on top of a natural mountain filled with beautiful trees. It is the eastern side of the world that is living in harmony with nature. You can think of it as the air nomads of Avatar: The Last Airbender. You can think of it as the followers of the Buddha who lived in peace with nature, who are working diligently to disillusion their minds from the identification of the ego. The skies are filled with the flower of life that represents the core principle of the universe, that each and everything is built by many corresponding parts working together. But once we forget that core principle, everything else breaks apart and we cannot rebuild. The eye of truth is shining a light on the moon, which is shining it back onto humanity. You can call it the wisdom of the present moment, you can call it psychedelics, because they do open up that part of your consciousness in the world. You can call it whatever you want, but there is truth in the world that we can seek for ourselves and find out. And we have the two koi fish that represents the bringing together of the two parts of our own ego with the rest of the universe. It is the Taoistic principle that all of us are essentially one in the ultimate reality, in the creation itself. It is part of us, but when we are birthed as humans, we forget that we are essentially one. Above the sea, it is written in Hindi, the bridge of unity, because that light of knowledge, of wisdom, it's what bridges the two worlds together. We can live in harmony after all. And for the last drawing of the day, we have this one. I'll put it on the screen so you can see. This is one I made as a testament to my fear of not actualizing my potential in my true nature in this life. I have different skills and ambitions I want to work on and share it to the world. And by living in my vices and living in imbalance, I could not ever hope to make my dreams true. And this is what this drawing represents. Our main character here is a human, but he's dead. He is what I don't want to become. I do not want to become a living, dead person. You see those people, those who are so mad with life, those who live in delusion, in hate, in their own suffering, and could not break free. So they bring it forth upon others. It is the person who had dreams but never actualized them, never realized the way of discipline, and thus he lives in fear and in bitterness. In Buddhism, there is a principle that says the nature of the mind is to have unwholesome seeds and wholesome seeds. The three main unwholesome seeds of the mind are greed, hate, and delusion, represented by the three animals our character killed on the wall: the pig for greed, the bird for delusion, and the snake for hate or anger. And our character here, he ironically killed and shot these animals that actually represent an idea, a metaphorical point, and not the actual animals that live on earth. But our character is so desperate to try and kill those seeds of unwholesomeness that he shot these animals instead of relieving these seeds from his mind. You see, we don't want to become like this dude. The whole drawing is scattered with things I thought were beautiful to add, some references to art and music I like Jason Becker on the right hand side. He is a true representation of freedom even in the midst of darkness. See, Jason Becker, if you don't know, is one of the best guitarists I have ever listened to. When he was just a kid, he was making such profound musical tracks that guitarists at the time didn't think were possible. He teamed up with Marty Friedman of Megadeth and began traveling around the world showcasing their talent in music. But at the age of 20, the universe had different plans for this man. He got diagnosed with ALS, a condition that makes you paralyzed in your body. He did not let his condition take him down, and he did the unthinkable. He started creating music with his own eyes, with the software his family helped him make. He still creates music, and he's grateful for being alive. See, he's the epitome of light in the darkness. You should check Jason Becker out. Also, we have Steve Vai on the top left, where it says "For the Love of God." That is a great instrumental track by Steve Vai. Anyways, you get the gist of this drawing. Do not let your dreams stay dreams and keep working towards realizing them. In order to realize my dreams and liberate myself from the grips of addiction, I made myself a task list I must follow through with every single day. Here it is. Keeps me occupied, interested in life, and gives me meaning. Something to wake up for. Create your own and you'll be 99% better than you were your whole life. If I followed through with my word, I will add a 19th line of purity at the end. Thank you for watching. Well then,